Rural Heritage on RFD TV is brought to you by Rural Heritage Magazine, a bi-monthly magazine featuring articles about farming and logging with draft animal power, small-scale diversified family farming and homesteading, and other aspects of our rich rural heritage. Rural Heritage Magazine, borrowing from yesterday to do the work of today. For subscription information, please call 319-362-3027 or order online at www.ruralheritage.com.
Hi, I'm Joe Mishka, your host. Welcome to another episode of Rural Heritage TV. Over 15 years ago, folks in Salisbury, Maryland, got together to hold an event to showcase our rural heritage. They wanted to honor the hard work performed by our ancestors and teach people today what some of that work involved. So they got together a variety of demonstrators to show horse-drawn plowing, horse-powered treadmill corn shelling, cast-iron cooking, blacksmithing, quilting, and more. Over the years, the event has grown to where over 3,000 people attended the 2022 Plow Day, and over 150 of them tried their hand at horse-drawn plowing. We'll show you some of the highlights from that day on next week's show, but today we wanted to show you what they did the day before. About 6 years ago, the group decided to set up their events a day early and invite area schoolchildren to attend. In 2022, over 650 students from nearby schools came to learn about pioneer life. The volunteers divided the kids up into several groups and moved each group from station to station. If you've ever chaperoned a school field trip, you'll appreciate how hard it can be to herd a bunch of 4th and 5th graders when they're feeling their oats and out in the fresh air and sunshine. The volunteers at Mt Hermon Plow Day were up to the task. Orrin Perdue, one of the organizers, explained what they hoped to accomplish during the school visits.
Well, we're trying to take people back to how it used to be in farming, and as you've seen the latest things, I'm sure quilting and making butter and cooking with wood and that sort of thing. We cater to the kids as well, and I think people ought to know how it used to be done. So we're just trying to do that.
All right, we're called blacksmiths. Reason being because all of our iron, after we beat it and done what we want to, turns black. So it's a blacksmith.
I can tell it's hot because the time is red.
I'm sorry? Yes, it is hot. I can get this hot enough to melt it if I wanted to. So a blacksmith back then made everything that you needed. If you wanted nails to build your house, he made the nails. Horseshoes, cooking gear, door hinges, door handles, just about anything used back then a blacksmith would be. Get the steel hot. Can you see how hot it is?
Yeah, I can tell.
That smoke smells so good.
Why do you keep hitting the anvil in between? Watch the hammer. You see the bounce? Yeah. I'm not doing that. The anvil is doing that. Oh, wow. And so every time I want to start, I'll stop. I can look at the profile of my iron to make sure it's straight where I want it, no hammer marks and stuff in it, and then I'll flip it for the other side. This stops me from having to pick that hammer up from a dead stop every time.
Okay.
This is only 1.5 pounds, but you lift it 1,000 times a day, it tends to get a little bit heavy. Yes, ma'am.
Do you enjoy doing that?
Yes, I do. Other than getting burnt. Done that once or twice, and that's not fun.
Why under the rocks is reddish?
You're seeing inside of the fire to see the heat. That's how we can tell how hot it is, by the color of the fire.
I am able to do something that's low carbon emission. I can use animals that are lovely to be around. The work I'm going to be doing is the best work I can think of.
In my opinion, we're definitely at a critical moment that the work we do today will greatly affect tomorrow.
I don't use the horses because of the traditional aspect of it. I use them because they're the best. They're the most superior technique we've got to not damage the woods.
And you're from the Double D Ranch?
Double D Ranch, yes.
And is that a cattle ranch?
We are. We do organic grass-fed poultry, beef, pork, right up Mt Hermon Road here.
Really? That's
Yes,
terrific. How long have you been doing that?
Our family's doing it. This is actually 3 years for us now.
That's great. That's terrific. Is business pretty good?
It's business.
Okay. All right. You're still growing?
Absolutely.
Is there a lot of educating to do to the market?
Well, the property itself was never a farm, or hasn't been a farm in quite some time. It was actually a golf course. It's been turned back into a farm. So with our family and some friends from church and all, we're turning it back over. It's great in, like you said, educating the market, getting folks around here back used to the idea of farm fresh, produce and things as well.
Did you guys do this kind of thing somewhere else before you bought the golf course?
Not in its entirety. My wife has a culinary history. I grew up high school and college working with cattle and riding horses and things. So we got to a point in our life where we had more grandkids than kids. We said we'd try this.
Awesome. That's terrific. It's pretty exciting, isn't it?
Absolutely love it, yes.
Yeah. It's kind of a dream. It's so long as you can make a go of it, and I'm sure you're pretty optimistic.
Definitely.
Yeah, good.
Yesterday, my wife and I had the open fire or kettle cooking, outdoor cooking station. So we were explaining to the students what it would be like 100 or so years ago if your house didn't have a kitchen. The daily activities of getting up in the morning and milking a goat or milking a cow and collecting firewood, bringing that over to an open fire with your cast iron cookware and a tripod, turning over the coals, starting the fire, chopping up your produce to mix in with fresh eggs or processed meat and things that you'd have just to get your day started. All to clean up and do it all over again for lunch, and a third time for dinner if you were lucky.
And that basically just covers the meals, which
Just
is
the
kind of
meals.
an all-day event, all-day work as it is.
Yes.
But then there was other stuff you were talking about as well, like the soap.
Absolutely. In doing those things, you have to clean up. So we explained to them about soap berries or wash berries, which are a Native American trick, so to speak, that were naturally occurring. They grow on trees, and how to simply mix them with water to make a soft, almost lanolin type soap that you could use on everything, from your face and hands to your dishes and boots. We explained that to the kids, as well as some other alternatives to just the open fire cooking, things that you could take with you, like hardtack, so that the kids understood that you could mix together flour, salt, and water, and bake what appears to be a really thick saltine cracker that is hard as nails and shelf stable. You throw it in your pocket, take it on the trail with you, soak it in your coffee or tea, and enjoy, sort of.
Right. It's not exactly a treat, but it's food.
Exactly.
Yeah, which can be important to have.
Definitely so.
Do you enjoy teaching kids about this stuff?
I enjoy pretty much every aspect of this lifestyle to begin with. I'm happy to say that I'm a proud parent and grandparent, so our grandkids work on the ranch with us every day in some aspect. They're all the way from just under 2 years old up to 6 years old now, and they love it, so in that case, yeah, I love it.
Do you think it's important to teach kids? Because some of these kids are probably from town.
Yeah.
Maybe some of them are from more of an urban environment and might not be as familiar with some of the stuff that you're talking about. Is that important to teach them?
Absolutely. I think that everybody should know where their food comes from and how it gets to their table. All the work that goes into it, all of the true care and love to provide for the animals, the ground, the land, and things like that. It instills a great work ethic and really makes, as silly as it sounds, your food taste better when you have it in your mind.
If you enjoy seeing how our ancestors lived during America's rule yesterday, you're going to love looking at these books. Volume 1 is fieldwork showing horses and vintage tractors preparing seed beds, planting, cultivating, and harvesting the crop. Volume 2 shows the work being done in the barn and farmyard, feeding and watering the livestock, getting the crop into the barn, milking the cows, shearing the sheep, and collecting the eggs. In Volume 3, we go inside the home to see the family in the kitchen canning vegetables, in the parlor listening to the radio, and in the dining room for family supper. We also head into town to shop at the general store or visit on the town square on Saturday night. Each book has over 140 large format pages. They sell for $24.95 each, or you can buy 2 for $44.95, or all 3 for $54.95 plus shipping. Call 1-877-647-2452 to order. That's 1-877-647-2452. That was a lot of kids yesterday.
630 some.
Yeah, that's huge. Those are all 5th graders? 4th graders?
Fourth. Most all of them are 4th graders. We, from the public school, they were all 4th graders. But we had 3 private schools here, and some of them were 4th, 5th, and 6th, and like that.
This program is available for purchase. To order your copy, please call 319-362-3027 or visit www.ruralheritage.com. Rural Heritage is a bi-monthly magazine dedicated to draft animal farming and logging, as well as other aspects of our rich rural heritage. It is published by Mishka Press, which also offers a complete line of Back to the Land books, DVDs, and calendars. Call or write for a catalog or subscription information, or visit our website at www.ruralheritage.com.